The Fat Controller preferred steam engines on his railway, but he found diesels useful because they can either pull or shunt coaches or trucks. He came to Tim's sheds when Thomas was all alone, but when Thomas arrived at Farker Quarry, he had met Doug's biggest rival for the first time. After Thomas had started work, he was loading his trucks when Diesel was up to his old tricks. That night, Thomas couldn't help but think about what will happen to the Northwestern Railway, similar to British Railways. Thomas felt worried. The next day, Salty had arrived. After being refueled, Diesel's engine began to rev faster and faster. Even Mavis was excited about the new fuel. Soon Diesel started to show off. Suddenly, Diesel's engine started to cough and splutter as nasty black smoke billowed from its exhaust. Even Mavis started to have smoke billowing from her exhaust. The quarry manager noticed this and was upset. Soon, all the other diesels had broken down. Airy, Bert, and even Salty had ground to a halt. The Fat Controller had heard the news and telephoned the quarry manager, and the quarry manager came to see Thomas. And Thomas puffed as fast as he could. At last, he arrived at the fuel depot. Thomas was soon loaded with flatbeds hauling fuel drums. When the train was ready, Thomas puffed with all his might. His wheels slid, but he kept on puffing. Thomas puffed all over the island, hauling fresh fuel for Salty, for Airy, and Bert. Thomas had one final delivery to make. At the quarry, all work had stopped. Diesel was as green as a leaf. Even Mavis was very glum. Suddenly, they heard Thomas's whistle. He steamed into the quarry with one final effort. Mavis and Diesel had their bad fuel drained out of their tanks, and all the clean fuel poured in. Soon, the quarry had returned to normal with the sound of work. And finally, the important job was finished. The Fat Controller had arrived on board Percy. And even Diesel had to admit that Thomas had become special and really useful. Even if he is a steam engine.